Lexi walked down the crowded hallway and went to sit outside to wait for her sister. She hated school. She got made fun of all the time for being fat. Lexi's 5'3" and 129 pounds. She doesn't think it was too big, but the other kids did. Her dark brown lanky hair, which she could never seem to get perfect, is always pulled up into a tight ponytail. She has squint-cyan eyes, that are always covered with sunglasses, or gobs of cheap dollar store eyeliner. Besides that, she never has the latest fashion. Her family didn't have a lot of money, so a lot of her clothes were her sister Ally's hand-me-downs or things that her mom gets off the rack at Value Village or the Salvation Army. Some of the clothes aren't too bad, and they are usually in good shape, but it's the knowledge that they are used that bothers her. Lexi was starting to get worked up again over something so little, so she pulled out her sketchbook and a number 2 pencil. It's the only thing that calms her down. That is where her life is. It is more than a sketchbook, it's a safe haven, a place where she can get away. She can forget about all the bad things that are said to her, and do the one thing that she's great at, drawing. Lexi liked to draw people. Beautiful girls that she wishes she could look like, boys that she wanted to go out with, and people from the popular crowd she wishes she could be friends with. It's kinda juvenile, but Lexi likes to talk to the characters she draws, some of them are even her best friends. She liked to pretend that they are real, and that she is the most beautiful person in the world. She can even talk to them perfectly fine, unlike how she speaks with people in the real world. She tends to stutter whenever she is excited or nervous. She always knows the perfect thing to say, but for some reason her words never come out right. It's kinda silly for a 16-year-old to be stuttering all the time, but nothing has worked. She even went to speech therapy at the school for 5 years, but it didn't do a thing to help her improve. She started to finish off Yuki, a new character that she was drawing, just as her older sister pulled up in her beat-up, dirt-stained, white Oldsmobile. "Hey kiddo," Ally said, smiling at Lexi. "Hi Ally," she said in a sad voice. "What's wrong?" she asked. "Oh, same old, just another bad day at school. Did you know that I love ho-hos according to that jerk Jimmy?" she said in a sarcastic voice. "Oh, ignore them. They won't be around in 2 years, you will never see them again, unless you go through a Burger Palace drive-thru," she said to Lexi. "Yeah, true," she said laughing. Lexi hopped into the car and they drove home. They were listening to their favorite rock station and bopping their heads to the beat. They drove down a suburban street with nice houses until they reached a condo complex. It wasn't that great, but it was their home. It was brown brick, with rusted metal bars on the balconies. It had a nice flower bed that had the dirt upturned, as the landscapers haven't gotten around to gardening yet. You could see the swimming area on the second-floor patio, which was crammed with tables and a barbecue. On the side of the building is a boat dock, as the complex was along the Didn't River. Among the boats was a very nice blue one called the Princess. That was Ally's prized posse Zion. She saved up years to buy it. Underneath the dock there was a bedroom and a mini kitchen, including a microwave, mini fridge, sink and a dish cupboard. And across from the mini kitchen, a bed and nightstand. Ally pulled up into her usual parking spot across the street and they proceeded to walk into the building. Ally opened the front door, said hello to the doorman and then they went to the elevator. Lexi pressed 23 and the elevator started to move upward to the very top floor. When they got out they went to the end of the hallway and opened their door, which was painted green. "What time is Mom coming home today?" Lexi asked Ally. I'm pretty sure that she said she was working late because her boss had a new program she has to document. So probably not for another 2 or 3 hours. She said. "Oh, I am never going to be a secretary, that job sucks." She said. "Yeah, it does. But, it feeds us and puts a roof over our head, doesn't it?" Ally said. "Uh-huh. Can we go sailing now?" I asked. "Please. Eager to start today, huh?" Ally asked her. "Yes. Okay, go put your shoes back on and let's go," she said to Lexi. Lexi got her shoes on and they both went back to the elevator, after locking the door and leaving a note saying they went sailing. They walked outside and went to the boat. "Okay Lex, go down into the room and get your stuff out, I will get us out onto the water," Ally told her. "Okie dokie smoky," Lexi said as she pulled up the cellar-like door. While Ally was upstairs trying to get them on the water, Lexi was downstairs getting ready. She went under a bed and pulled out a big Tupperware box. She got out a Depends medium extra absurd banky diaper and a pink sleeper. It was like an actual baby sleeper, with the snaps in the crotch and everything. Her sister got it for her online, at an adult baby store. She put the baby powder on the nightstand and got undressed. She shoved her clothes into a corner and lay down on the clean diaper. Meanwhile, Ally untied the boat and turned on the motor. After some twists and turns, she was finally able to get it onto the open water. She kept going until they were in a nice, quiet spot. She let down the anchor and went downstairs to attend to Lexi. When Lexi was 15, her dad died. That was hard on all of them. The family was uprooted, and many things changed for the worse. Family outings were a thing of the past, family game night was banished. She even got rid of most of her friends. When John passed, it put the family into chaos. He was the main man, the one who kept everything together. He organized outings, he made sure there was time for everyone. When he was around, everyone was happy. He made both of his kids laugh, and made his wife giggle like a schoolgirl. When someone was having a bad day, he was there to cheer them up. John was the silver lining on every cloud they saw in the sky. But all that changed. On his way home from work he was hit by a drunk driver, and he didn't make it. He was dead before help got to him. He left his family a happy man, he had everything he could have ever wanted. But, unfortunately, his family needed more of him, and now they didn't have it. Not knowing how to cope with the loss of her beloved husband, Dolores, their mom, moved them out of their old Victorian home to a condo and disconnected herself from the kids, not completely, but she likes a lot of personal time. She resorted to working long hours, when she doesn't have to. When she is home she will eat a quick dinner, conversation-filled mind you, but short nonetheless. When she is done she will have a calming bath and then go to her desk to finish off paperwork or start work that is due tomorrow. She has a hard time talking to her kids. She feels it is her fault they don't have everything they want. She would be more than happy to give it to them, but it is impossible when you are making only about $27,000 a year. That is less than half of what they had before. She spends a lot of time worrying about Lexi's well-being, as she has changed drastically over the past year. She is glad that Ally helps around the house. She took a year off after high school to help with bills. Ally for a while became, for lack of a better word, a slut, sleeping with boys, but quickly got out of that when no guys would talk to her unless they wanted sex. She is quite the charmer, especially around men. She knows the perfect thing to say all the time. She now resorts to writing in her notebook. She writes a lot of poems and short stories, not a thing you find most 19-year-old girl doing. Right now she is working in a GM factory, working on the line. It brings her home quite a bit of money, and she gives her mom about half of that, because she knows that she is struggling. The only money she spent on herself was to buy a boat. She saved for over 2 years, and it is one of her prized possessions. She has become somewhat of a second mother, and is content that way. She likes to know that she can provide for the family. Also, right after her dad died, she noticed a change in Lexi. Lexi became distant. She would lock herself in her room the entire night. Her allowance disappeared all the time, and never bought anything to show for it. They figured that she was buying food, as she gained about 30 pounds in the last year. She stopped that, and is now slimming down again. One day, Ally went to go tell her that dinner was ready. She didn't answer the knock at her door, so when Ally opened it she found Lexi on her bed in nothing but a wet diaper and a t-shirt. She woke her up and Lexi about crapped her pants, well, diaper. She started crying and didn't know what to tell her. After she changed and had dinner Lexi and Ally had a long talk. She explained that when Dad died, she was online looking up the words "I miss my daddy" and came across an interesting site. It wasn't a site on daddies, but a forum to talk about diapers and being an adult baby. She explained to Ally what each was, and that she was considered a teen baby. She said she was intrigued by this discovery, and for the last several months she has been buying adult diapers and other baby things, like a soother and bottle. Ally, being non-judgmental, accepted this about her sister and also got involved. She was unsure at first, thinking this might be unhealthy for her. But after a trial run of babying her for one day, she found that she really liked it. She wanted to be a mother, but knew she was too young, and would be unable to take care of a child. This was her perfect opportunity. They both really enjoyed the baby time. Ally would sing her lullabies, rock her to sleep, feed her bottles and change her diapers. She also saw an improvement in Lexi. She started to become friendly again, started to accept the fact that her father was gone, and became a pillar in the support system they had going for their mom. Lexi was closer to her, and could tell her anything. Ally would do anything to make her sister happy, and if this was it, so be it, it was a bonus for both of them. And that leaves us with their daily routine, Ally picking Lex up from school and bringing her home, taking her sailing and giving her an hour or so of baby time. When Ally got downstairs she saw Lex already laying on the bed. That was quick. "You really wanna be my little baby today, don't you, kiddo?" she asked her. "Of course, silly. I wanna be a baby every day," she said, only remembering at the end of her sentence to use baby talk. Ally went in the Tupperware container and grabbed a bottle. She went to the tiny kitchen area and grabbed the milk out of the mini fridge. Ally poured some in the bottle and put the carton back in. She put the bottle in the microwave for 30 seconds. When it beeped she took it out, put the lid on it and went over to Lexi. After setting the bottle down on the nightstand, she went to dress her. Ally powdered her well, and then pulled the diaper up and taped it on tightly. Sit up, Ally said. What? Do I gotta? Lexi asked. Yes, unless you wanna go out on the dock in just your diaper and nothing else. She answered. That was enough persuasion. Right away she sat up. Ally put the sleeper over her head and then told her to lay down again. When she did, she put her one leg into it and then snapped the other one up. There she sat, diapered and dressed. Thank you. Baba now? Lexi asked. Of course. Let's go. Ally gave the bottle to Lexi and mustered all her strength and picked her up. She carried her up the stairs and onto the deck. She sat in his favorite lounging chair. Ally put Lexi down next to her and Lexi lay down with her head on her lap. She put the nipple of the bottle in her mouth and Lexi began to drink. It was a good half hour before she was done. Ally pulled the bottle away from her lips and she climbed up on her. She put her over his shoulder and proceeded to burp her just like a little baby. After a few good ones she let her go and Lexi sat down next to her. Thank you. You're the bestest sister ever. She said to Ally, in her baby talk. No problem. What do ya wanna do now? Story. She asked Lexi. Swim. She said. Okay, but you have to put a life jacket on. She warned. What? Whyy? No fair. Lexi said, stomping her foot and giving her the evil eye. Do you remember what happened last time you tried to swim with a diaper on? Either you put on a life jacket, or you take off the diaper. She said. Finn. Life jacket. Let me go get my bathing suit. Lexi ran downstairs and got her bathing suit out of the top drawer of the nightstand. She put on the top to her bikini. It was orange with pink flowers, and covered her stomach, kinda like a tank top. When she was done, she threw her sleeper aside with her other clothes and proceeded to walk up to the deck clad in her top and a diaper. Just as she was walking up the stairs, Ally was getting a bag from under the deck seat. She put the bag on her lap right when Lexi appeared. What ya got, dear? She asked her. A surprise for you. But you gotta close your eyes. Ally said. Lexi covered her eyes with her hands, leaving room between her fingers so she could see. No peeking or you won't get it. Now you have to turn around, and keep your eyes closed. She said. Lexi turned around and squished her eyes closed, making sure that she could get her surprise. Ally fiddled with the bag a bit and finally shoved the bag back under the seat. Okay, turn around. She said. Oh why? They are perfect. Lexi squealed. Ally was holding a pair of plastic panties, covered in the same material that her bathing suit was. It had the little ruffles and everything. Where did you get those? They are so cute. She said. I had a friend of mine make them. I said it was for my cousin that was mentally challenged. I'm not mentally challenged. I just like to be a baby. Lexi said, sounding offended. And Ally said, you also aren't my cousin now, are you? Come on, put them on, let's see how they fit. Lexi stepped into the bottoms and pulled them up over her diaper. They fit perfectly. How come they are so stiff? And they're tied around the leg. Lexi said. Well, because they are plastic. They have to keep the water out, don't they? Yet I guess, they're still really awesome though. Lexi put her life jacket on and stepped onto the edge of the boat. Last one in is a rotten egg. Lexi yelled. Why silly girl. I don't have my bathing suit on yet, cheater. Ally laughed. Well, hurry up so I can go in. Ally went downstairs and stepped into her skimpy green bikini. She came back up with 2 towels and jumped in. Haha. You're a rotten egg now. Ally yelled to her baby sister. The 2 girls had fun playing in the water for half an hour and then they both got out and dried off. The plastic pants did their job, and hardly any water got into them. They went downstairs and Ally changed Lexi out of her diaper and they both got their clothes back on. They put everything back where they found it and made sure it was all clean. When the boat was docked, they climbed out and proceeded towards the apartment building. They went upstairs to their door and opened it to find their mom busily typing away at her laptop computer. Hey mom. Lexi said to her. Hey ma, do you have plans for dinner? Ally asked her. I have meatloaf in the oven, it's done, so can you take it out for me, and Lexi, can you set the table? She said in a hurried voice. Okay, no problem mom. Ally said. Just be quiet, I want to get this done before dinner. She said, ending the conversation. Ally and Lexi worked in silence to get dinner put out on the table. Every once in a while you would hear the clang of silverware, or the squeaking of the oven door, but except for that, all you could hear was the clicking away from the keyboard. When dinner was done, the 3 ladies were seated around the table. How was your girls' day? Dolores asked her 2 daughters. I hate school. Everyone is mean to me. Lexi said, using her "my life is terrible, poor me" tone of voice. It will get better, I promise. Just focus on your studies, you can get a good job and you can laugh when the bullies at your school are stuck on welfare. Her mom said to console her. I guess. What about you, Eli? I just watched television all day. It was nice, this is my only day off all week. They are working me so hard lately, but the overtime is filling my bank up with moolah. She said, rubbing her fingers together to represent money. How about you, Ma? Well, I have good news and bad news. She said to them. Good news is, I've been promoted. The bad news is, well, there isn't any bad news. Dolores said, with a rare grin on her face. Oh Mom, that's wonderful. Ally said. Yeah Mom, that is great. I knew you would get a promotion someday. Lexi squealed. Well, while we are on the subject of good news, I have something to tell you guys. It is a little something that came in the mail 2 weeks ago, and I have been debating it since then. As you know, I took a year off of school to help with bills. Now that Mom is promoted, you will be making more money, right? Yeah, $12 more an hour. Dolores commented. Anyways, since that should help with the financial situation a lot, this makes my decision a whole lot easier. I got accepted to Princeton, on a full-ride scholarship. Now, I can start at the beginning of next month, for the winter semester, or I can wait until next fall. There was a silence at the table after those words came out of Ally's mouth. Her mother was astounded that she hadn't heard of this before, and was ecstatic for her daughter, and Lexi was also happy, but thinking about what would happen if Ally moved away. Oh honey, that's great. Dolores said. I am so proud of you. Of course you can go next month. Thanks Mom. She said. The pair of them, mother and daughter, got up and hugged, doing a little jig around the kitchen. Lexi was getting depressed by all of this. Both her mother and big sister have things to be proud of, and all she can say is that kids pick on her. She didn't want her big sister to leave, not now, not when she needs her most. I'm not hungry. I'm just going to go to bed. Lexi said in a soft voice, afraid that if it got any louder, it would crack. She got up from the table and went to lay down on her bed. Tears flowed out of her eyes, everything was messed up now. Ally must have knocked on her door 10 times, but Lexi refused to answer it. She eventually cried herself to sleep, and didn't even hear when her mom came in to say good night. For the next month things went by slowly. Lexi was still depressed and wouldn't speak to her sister, she didn't even let Ally baby her. She resorted to going to the boat alone, sometimes in the middle of the night, and she would do everything for herself. She drew several more characters, gained another 9 pounds, and her grades were slipping. She despised Ally for leaving her, but she loved her even more. She wanted to talk to her so badly, but couldn't come up with the nerve to approach her. Lexi wished she could go with her big sister, but knew it was impossible. Ally tried numerous times to talk to her sister, but she would never let her speak. Ally and Lexi were getting desperate to talk to each other, as Ally was leaving the next day to catch her plane. While Lexi was at school, Dolores took the day off to spend it with her oldest daughter. When they sat down to have lunch together, Ally decided to tell her about Lexi. Mom, we need to talk, about Lexi I mean. She said, still wondering if it was a good idea to tell her. Okay, talk away. Dolores said, continuing to eat the fried up, leftover spaghetti that was on her plate. Well, I will only tell you on 2 conditions. 1, keep an open mind, and 2, if you don't accept what I'm about to say, never, ever, bring it up to Lexi. I promise to do both. Now, what is it? Dolores asked, her curious eyes now intently focused on Ally. Well, do you know how when Dad died Lexi was having a really rough time? And do you remember how she started to improve? Well, that is because she talked to me. You see, Lex is a teen baby, or the more scientific term, an infantilist. Dolores looked very confused, but continued to stare at her daughter, waiting for more information. Ally continued on, I don't know fully what it is, I only know what she told me. I have been babying her for the last 6 or so. When we go sailing, I usually diaper her and she acts like a baby. She prefers to be around 2 or 3 years old. I feed her from a bottle, give her baby snacks like oatmeal, and sometimes she even drinks formula. I know, this is completely weird and a shock to you. Well kinda, but go on. Dolores said. You would have to ask Lexi exactly what an adult or teen baby is, but I know that they like to be babied. She told me that usually it is because they had a bad childhood, or something happened, and they regress back to a state when they were happy. I don't know why she wanted to go back as far as 2 years old, but she did. I found out because I saw her sleeping in her bedroom in nothing but a shirt and a wet diaper. Which explains where her money was going before, towards diapers and other baby stuff. She had a huge stash of diapers, bottles, soothers, bibs, everything. It took a bit for her to open up to me, but she finally did. She has been happy since I started taking care of her, and I would do anything to make her happy. The only reason I am telling you this is because, well, I wanted you to continue to baby her while I was away at college. She needs it, she is getting worse and worse since she hasn't talked to me this last month, and I believe that she won't get better when I leave. She finished. So that explains it. Dolores said, a smile barely visible on her face. Hi. Ally asked, confused by her mother's statement. I found diapers in her room just after John died. I thought she might have been wetting the bed or something, and was too embarrassed. You know, she didn't do a good job at hiding it. I just figured I would let her be, and come to me on her own terms. But, when I stopped finding them in the trash and hidden around her room, I figured she stopped, so I didn't bring it up. When you stopped finding them was probably around the time that I started babying her. It makes sense. Dolores said. So, are you going to continue for me? Because Mom, I am willing to take her for me, and we can get an apartment. I just don't want to see her fail at anything. I want her to be happy. Ally explained. There's no need for that, you don't have enough money anyways. I have no problem with babying her, I would do anything to make my daughters happy. But, I think I will let her choose. I could send you guys a couple $100 a month, and get a bachelor pad for myself, if she chose to live with you. Dolores said. But, how are you going to get an apartment on such short notice? Well, I couldn't take her until the semester is over, which is another 4 months. But after that, she is free to live with me, I have no problem with it. Besides, that would be just after March break, so I will come for my visit, and she can leave with me then. I am just totally surprised that you accepted this. Ally said, with a hint of amazement in her voice. She's my daughter, Al, why wouldn't I accept it? She asked. Well, I don't know, ask Lex that. She obviously didn't tell you for some reason. Agreed. Well, we can talk to her when she gets home from school, although, I am pretty sure I know what she is going to choose. One question though. Why March break, and not the summer? She will probably want to finish the year. Mom, are you kidding? She hates that school. She is constantly getting teased. I pick her up from school and more than half the time she is crying because of some reason or another, mostly because of bullies. She would thank me if I took her out. Ally said. Okay then, March break, if she wants to, which she will. One condition though, she goes to school every day, I get a weekly report on her grades and I get a copy of her report card. Dolores said. Of course, I planned that anyways. I'm telling you Mom, if she messes up in school, and she is living with me, she won't see daylight for the next decade. Ally said smiling. You are, Dolores said, definitely my daughter. The two ladies laughed and ended the conversation. They finished their lunch, cleaned up, and went to watch some television while they waited to go pick up Lexi from school. When Lexi got in the car, Ally noted that she looked extremely depressed. Lexi was still too nervous to say anything to her dear sister that was leaving tomorrow morning, the sister she thought she would never see again. When they got home, Dolores was sitting on the couch. Hi baby. Dolores said to her youngest, smiling at her. Hi Mom. Lexi said, not getting the hint. How was your day? She asked. Fine. Anything interesting? No. Did you have a test? No. Any homework? No. Are you hungry? No. I know about your secret. No, Lexi answered, for the millionth time in a row. Wait, what? She asked, finally registering what her mother just said to her. Ally, you stupid little bitch, she screamed at her sister, getting cut off by her mom. Calm down. Dolores shouted. It's okay, I accept it. I understand, I'm not mad or anything. I knew before your sister told me. Dolores said, trying to get Lexi calmed down, and Ally out of trouble. Lexi, it's okay. Mom knew before. She doesn't have a problem with it. Just talk to us, explain to her, and please, don't be mad at me, because I'm leaving tomorrow. Ally said, tears starting to form in her eyes. Lex, what exactly is a teen baby, and remember, tell me everything, I won't get mad. Dolores said, putting her arm around her daughter. Lexi proceeded to explain what a teen baby was, to the best of her knowledge to her mother. Both her big sister and mom listened to what she had to say, without interruptions. So, that's what it is. She finished. Well, that helps explain it a lot better. Dolores said. So you aren't mad? Lexi said, confirming her mother's acceptance. Of course not. You're my daughter, and whatever makes you happy goes. So can I get my lip pierced too? Lexi asked with anticipation. Of course not. That is definitely out of the question. She said. Well, I thought it was worth a shot. She said, giggling. We have a proposition for you, Lexi. Ally said. What is that? Well, you can continue to live here, and I can baby you once a week, her mother started. Or, you can stay here for 4 months, and get babied once a week, and then come to live with me, and get babied every day. Ally finished. Really? Lexi asked, looking excited. I can really come live with you. Oh, she looked sad now. What about mom? You would be all lonely. It's okay, I'm a grown-up. I was lonely for 3 years until I met your father, and I turned out just fine, didn't I? It's okay, go live with Ally, you would probably have much more fun. New school, new apartment, new room, new everything. You could start fresh. Dolores said. Okay. I wanna live with Ally. But do I really have to wait 4 months? Can't I just come with you tomorrow? Sorry babe, but I only have a 1-bedroom on campus, you aren't allowed. She said. Okay fine, I guess I can wait, but I will sure miss you. And Ally, I'm sorry for being mean to you lately, I really wanted to talk to you but she started, but choked on her tears. I know sweetie, it's okay, you don't have to explain. She said, picking her up and setting her on her lap. I got something for you. Ally said to her. She pulled out a set of keys and handed them to Lexi. The keys to your boat? She asked. Yes, it's all yours for the next 4 months, then I might sell it. She said to her. Wow, thanks Ally. Lexi squealed, ecstatic. No problem. Hey, how about we go sailing together, just one more time before I leave? She asked her little sister. Let's make it special. Ally and Lexi took hands and skipped down to the dock. The sisters both happy with what the future was bringing. So I can really come live with you? Lexi asked her sister. Of course, I wouldn't want it any other way. Ally responded. What made you tell mom? I thought it was our secret. Lexi said in a soft voice, not an angry one, like before. Well, I couldn't leave you here for at least 4 months, maybe more, with no one to baby you. I made her promise not to say anything to you if she didn't accept it. But she did, which is a good thing. She said. Yeah, it is, I'm glad you told mom. Lexi stated. Me too. Come on, let's go get you cleaned up. Ally said, taking her little sister's hand. Ally and Lexi forgave each other that day, and had the best time they could ever remember out on the boat. They laughed and cried, they played lots of games, they did everything that they usually did, but it just seemed 10x better. Ally left the next day for school. She bid farewell to her mother and her sister, and took a big step forward. Although sad for a couple days, Lexi generally was pleased with her sister's decision to tell their mom. Mommy, I'm home. Lexi yelled to her mom. Hey baby, how was school? She asked. It was okay, just the same old same old. But now I'm home, so I gets to have a good time. She said, smiling. We sure do, go to your room and lay down, I'm just finishing your bottle now. Dolores said to her daughter. Okie dokie mommy, I'll be waiting.